What's up agents, Patrick Wolf here. Welcome to another Division 2 build video. Today's build video is going to be the diamond cover build. If you guys enjoy the diamondback and you want to do as much damage as possible, you've come to the right place. This is going to be a very fun build to use. It's quite difficult to use if you want to get the maximum amount of damage. We can hit 4.6 million damage a shot every time with this gun to the head for quite a bit of time. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. First and foremost, how do you get the diamondback? Kenley College was the initial place we used to get it. It's now closed for 1 day and 19 hours. Dark Zone West has rifles as the targeted loot. Go and farm in the DZ right now if you guys don't have it. Then reconfigure it and get the nicest roll you can possibly get, obviously. Okay, so let's go over specialization. This is going to be pretty simple. We're going to be utilizing cover-based mechanics whilst swapping weapons. So sharpshooter is ideal. You can, instead of using pulse, I used pulse in the clips, use the tactician drone. Specialization mods have been buffed and you get a nice amount of duration and a nice amount of cooldown. So this is what you should be using. I'm going to swap to this now. I just got the footage with normal pulse, guys. Okay, so we also get headshot damage. This is what we want. This is also good for console players. Reduced recoil, weapon stability, it's a must. Very, very good. And you also get armor while you're in cover, so make sure the specialization is active and put rifles on damage, because we're going to be using rifles and assault rifles. So you guys need to make sure that when you use this build, you use 2 different weapon types, because we're going to be utilizing versatile, which has been fixed. It is now working in the Dark Zone and PvP. So we're going to have 1 blue and the rest reds. This build is going to concentrate on staying in cover, buffing our teammates whilst buffing our own damage. It is a bit of a difficult build to use, but the payoff is huge, because we do a lot of damage. So let's go over the diamondback first. If you guys don't know how to use it, well, you got to understand it first. Make sure you get as much high rolls as possible. Remember guys, we don't want to spec into crit chance in this build. It's all about crit damage. Forget about crit chance, because you will be critting all the time with this weapon. That's why it's so good. So diamondback randomly marks an enemy. So when you guys are reloading or you're swapping your weapon, it will reset the mark. You'll see a line going towards the enemy, and when you hit that enemy, what happens is it consumes a mark, and it's a guaranteed critical hit, and you get amplified weapon damage of 20%. And then afterwards another enemy is marked, but you do get automatic critical hits every enemy you hit for the next 5 seconds, which is why it's so good. So make sure you guys utilize this, hit the marked enemies, and you'll be critting huge damage. Then the glory days is what I use as my secondary. Remember, make sure you don't use a rifle. Use this, because otherwise versatile won't work properly. So I use this because it's good for, well, to be honest, it looks great. I like the paint job. You can use whatever you want as your secondary. SMG would also be viable. You can do a lot of damage, especially when enemies rush you, because the diamondback isn't the best at close range. So make sure you guys use this if you're on console and your aiming isn't the best. Perfect nearsighted, gives you a lot of stability. It's like a laser beam, so it's really, really good. We also hit 96k, which is very, very nice. Obviously diamondback 661. So let's go over the pieces now. When you're modding your guns, you can't mod the diamondback, so you guys can just put crit damage, crit damage, crit damage. Remember that for this build. So I've gone for 3-piece Providence, 1 Sawyer, 1 Overlord armaments, and then a Fenris, which has got a Ferocious Calm, which is going to be very, very strong and help our teammates a lot. Let's go over each piece. So the Providence 3 pieces, because of that crit damage and headshot damage, you can use Grupo Sombra, and you could use whatever you guys want. It's up to you. Even put the Punch Drunk Mask. As long as you guys have high crit damage, then you'll be fine, and headshot damage. So I've gone for this one. I'm probably going to re-roll this to get a headshot damage right here. Remember guys, we don't want crit chance. So roll headshot damage and critical hit damage on all your pieces. Then it will truly min-max this build, and we could probably hit over 5 million a shot if we can min-max this. So crit damage mods all round. Do not roll crit chance. Then the chest piece is going to be a beautiful Ferocious Calm. I got this from farming the Dark Zone, Fenris. It's got max weapon damage, crit damage rolled on it, another crit damage mod, and then perfect Overwatch. This is very, very strong, because only 8 seconds and you get 12% weapon damage to you and all your teammates, which is very, very good. After staying cover for 8 seconds, increase you and your allies' total weapon damage and their skill damage. It's very, very strong. It works great in legendary missions as well. This used to not work at all in PvP, but it works now, so it's really, really strong. Sometimes it bugs out in PvP in the Dark Zone, but this is more of a PvE build. You can use this in PvP, but staying in cover all the time is a bit tricky. So this is obviously more of a PvE build. So I've got armor regen. I prefer headshot damage over there. Then on the holster, it's just normal Providence. Just roll your highest rolls. I'm going to put headshot damage on the holster, and crit damage, I need to re-roll that as well. Then on your Overlord backpack, This gives us weapon damage of 10% for the rifle. The reason why this is good is because versatile is multiplicative, and it's going to amplify the damage with the headshots. That's why I'm hitting such high damage. So weapon crit damage, I'm going to change this to headshot damage. Just remember that, guys. Headshot, not crit chance, then crit damage over there. Versatile amplifies total weapon damage for 10 seconds when swapping between your primary and secondary. So the reason why rifles are so good for this is because you want to be hitting enemies that are far away. 35% multiplicative damage when you're using rifles, which is very, very good. Now, this is why I said use an SMG, because SMGs get the same amount from close range. Assault rifles and LMGs don't get it. They only get 10%, which is strange. At most, once per 5 seconds per weapon type. So it's very, very good. This talent, in my opinion, is best in slot if you utilize this correctly in any situation, because it's 35% multiplicative damage, which is crazy strong. So make sure you guys utilize this talent. Gloves, Providence Defense, the normal. Make sure to roll headshot damage to crit chance. I don't want to do that now because these are my gloves for my other build. So make sure you guys put crit damage and headshot damage. Then knee pads. Sawyer's knee pads. This is going to amplify the damage even further. Because we're going to be in cover, it synergizes perfectly with the chest piece talent. Stand your ground. You cannot be staggered by explosions, which helps us because we will be in cover, and that would have initially taken us out of cover. So it increases total weapon damage up to 30%. Which is really, really good, and it stacks with versatile, which is really good and strong, and I like the way this build works together. It synergizes really well with staying in cover, and honestly, like the damage you're hitting, it's so powerful, and you're quite tanky because you have one blue. You're a bit more tanky than the norm, and you get armor from the specialization as well, which is great. So use, in my opinion, guys, this is what I'm actually going to change to now. Hold on. Yes, this tactician drone. And then when you're modding it, specialization mods have actually been buffed. So have a look and see if it is probably better than what you have. 15% duration, which is great. And then we've got 20 meter scan range, which is nice. Yeah. Then we're going to utilize that. And the reason why I've got the booster hive, you don't have to use this if you guys don't want, but we get an additional amount of weapon damage and handling, which is very, very nice. It helps your teammates as well, and it's great. So make sure you use that because that's how we can get high numbers, which is pretty good. So over the stats, we're going to go over it quickly, guys. 172% crit damage, 97% headshot damage. Crit chances, though, it doesn't matter. We're going to be always critting. So it works extremely well. I'll just scroll through this again. 76 all weapon. Then rifles, it's got 40%. Remember, we're going to be getting versatile, which is going to be additional 35, which is very, very strong. But yeah, this build it utilizes crits very well because of the Diamondback. We are hitting such high numbers. I can min-max it even more. Like I said, I can roll headshot damage in my backpack and my gloves. So I could even possibly get 4.7, 4.8 million a shot, which is really high. And it's a fun build to use. So stay in cover, swap between your weapons. Utilize your pulse or use the drone, which it'll help you because you have to be very mechanical to use this build. You got to keep swapping your weapons, watching the bar because it does have a cooldown, versatile. So make sure you guys focus on that. And yeah, it's very, very strong, and I really enjoy using this build. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Give it a try. Let me know what numbers you're hitting. I want to see if anyone's hitting over 5 mil. I'm going to try and reroll all my gear and see if I can get over that 5 mil mark. Probably can. So I'm going to do my best to do that. So make sure to leave a like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Peace out,